getting know on why do you think Dato Sri Najib wanted you to be in the government to manage the finance department, even though you were just a corporate guys?
Yes, thank you. Now, at that point in time, the Prime Minister, the government had just come up with the new economic model. Now, that new economic model was introduced, I think initially was in 2010, then later developed into action plan, into the mission plan. And so, just to recap, the new economic model was about Malaysia being a prosperous, inclusive, and sustainable country. Right? So, prosperous means that we want to continue to grow from an economic perspective, and inclusive meaning that we don't leave anyone behind, meaning that whether it's between the races or between one state to another, East Coast and West Coast, and between Peninsular Malaysia and West Malaysia, and so on. So no one must be left behind. Sustainable is not just in terms of protecting the environment and so on, but also in terms of how we manage government finances. Because if you have a country with government that's continuously recording current account deficit, fiscal deficit, it will not be sustainable because over time your financial condition will weaken, your debt level will go up, and there is a risk of your international credit rating to come down. So when your credit rating goes down, you get downgraded, then the cost of borrowing will be higher, then that creates more burden for the country and so on. So based on that new economic model, so at that point in time, one of the challenges facing government was the fiscal position. So we need to come up with policy, number one, to broaden the tax base, and that's by introducing the GST. Secondly, you need to undertake fiscal consolidation, optimize your spending, and then on the spending side, the subsidies were quite significant. Those days we were doing huge subsidies on fuel. It was a blanket subsidy, and there was a time that we spent as much as 12.5 billion ringgit in subsidy for petrol and diesel. And of course today it's a lot more. So even at that point in time, there was a need to remove the subsidy and make it more targeted for people who actually deserve it. So for that to be done, apart from relying on the existing talent, the civil service and so on, there was a need for someone to bring in the private sector's perspective. Again, being a non-politician, I'm able to push for the idea of subsidy rationalization and fiscal consolidation without fear of losing my votes, because I'm not elected, so I was actually appointed. So I think the idea of bringing not just